Hi guys, happy Wednesday. I hope that you guys are having a good week. So in the Facebook group, um, for those of you who are in there, somebody had asked about the nativity scene. And so I started putting a card together to do a video, and I very quickly realized where they were getting confused. And so I have cut out all of the pieces, and I thought that we would put the card together so that way we could kind of go over what each piece is, because even I got confused, so I could definitely see how it would be very easy to get confused about this one, because there are a lot of pieces, parts. So I gotta take off my shoes so that I can sit crisscross applesauce. You guys know how I like to do. Hello, Julie, Brandon. Had to walk the dog, and I'm pretty. Oh yeah, when it gets colder, those puppy dogs still got to get walked. Unfortunately, that's one of the reasons why we bought a house with a fence, so we don't have to do that, just for them to go potty. Okay, so I'm going to take me off, so that way we can see the full set. But then also I need to be very clear. I know normally my lives are like 2 hours long. I have an appointment to get my teeth cleaned today, which is why I actually look like a real person. So I have to be done at 2:00. I have to be done at 2 because my appointment is at 2:20 and it takes me 15 minutes to drive there. Okay, so let's get rid of me. Okay, here we are. And then here is, I'm going to pull out my mat. This set has a lot of different pieces. But if you are a person who doesn't mind that, look, I have one little. If you are a person who does not mind the little pieces, it is a really well put together set, and it will be a card that kind of makes an impact. So I had my little layout here so that I could figure out what I could do with my scene, right? Okay, so I'm going to take that out. I don't think that is any, I think that's a crown. Okay, so the parts of the, not a card for mass production. Susan, I would agree, unless you don't mind the assembly, then like once you cut all the pieces out, like you could just knock out the assembly. So for the manger, you have your base piece, which is this here. Then we have the detail pieces, which are these here. So you can see this is one part of it, and then the other two pieces that sit on top. I'm going to scoot these over. And then it cuts out these two pieces as well. Yes, I know they're in the same color. I am going to color them rather than cut them out from another rather than cut them out from another color. I'm just going to color them. Brandon, it's a lovely set and doesn't require much besides die cutting. I 100% agree. And Brandon has made a card with this. In fact, he made a really cool like pop-up card. And then this is the hay, and that cuts out this. So those are the pieces for our manger. Now, whoop, I'm going to try to do this quickly. Maybe I should put them over here so that way we know that we've done them. All right, now we have our little animals. So we have our little donkey and we have our little sheep. This is our sheep that's already been shaved. And hold on, I got to find them because they're the tiniest little bits. That also comes from the donkey. And did I lose the little dot? Nope, there it is. It's right there. Come with me, little friend. Excuse me 1 second. Oh, Excuse me. I tried to sneeze away from you. Okay, this part right here. Come with me. Nope. Okay, now I'm going to have to get the sticky thing. Thank you for your blessings. I appreciate that. Okay, so the donkey cuts out these two pieces, so a back and a front of the donkey, and then it also cuts out the, what is that called? Like a bit? I don't know. I don't ride horses or anything. And then the little like enclosure. I don't know if that's like a button or a snap or what that is, but that is all of the donkey. Then for the sheep, you have the base, body, and then it's fuzzy parts. That's what you have for the animals. Of course, I'm going to have a runny nose when I'm trying to do this. Why would I not? Why would I not? Okay. So that is those. Now, as we get into the people, and like, I haven't put it together yet, but I have a feeling for that dot, I probably would not try to chase it down. I probably would just use like a white gel pen and be done with it. But that's the situation that we are in. It cuts it out if you want it. And of course, okay, I have to run and get a tissue because of course I don't have any in this room. Okay, I apologize. I was fine all morning long. I sneezed one time, and now here we are. No, we call it allergies because it's easier to say allergies, but mine's actually hormonal. So, anywho, okay. Now, the people, like I said, is where it gets a little bit more complicated. So let's do, I'm going to grab out these 3 kings. Okay, I'm just going to scoot them over. Come with me. And this isn't necessarily going to be the way that we put them together, but I do want you to be able to see how many times I had to cut them, because I think that is important. Come over here. So I didn't even try to do anything different. I didn't vary my colors from the Lovely Layers guide. I just went with what was there. This is this guy, and that guy has his on. Okay, now we have our crowns. Okay, and then I have to get my little gifts out of here. Did I miss a gift? Maybe I did. Okay, so basically each king, and there's 3 layers of them. My job canceled today, so I get to watch. I was thinking on ordering those. Thank you. I never fail to deliver. I don't know about that. Okay, so this is the base of that one. And he's my tallest guy. I'm going to move Mary and Joseph over here. My tallest guy here. And that's, okay. So that's their 3 bases. Then They each have this is like the detail piece for their robes. So this part is this one. This is the sleeve, their hand, their face, their beard, and their crown. So when you cut this, you have to cut this for 3 faces. That's one color. You have to cut this for 3 sleeves. I would presume 3 other colors. Then you also have to cut it for 3 crowns, which my crowns I did all the same color, but I still had to cut it 3 times. So this is this one. This is the layer for this one because they're all different. Here he is. They're all in different positions. So those are the layering for each one. Maybe I should flip them over the way I have the other ones. So that way it's less confusing. But then this one is for all 3 of them. It's the same for all 3. And this is for Joseph. This is for Mary, Mary, baby Jesus, gifts. There they are. Okay, so then this one is the piece for all of the gifts right here. And I did cut these. Here it is. I thought maybe I was losing my mind. But I did cut these out of the gold as well, the same as the crowns, the same as the hay, and the same as the star. The star there. I cut that out of the same color. So those are the pieces parts. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Those are the pieces parts for the 3 kings. I'm just going to shuffle them back this way. I feel like I mixed up their little coverings, but we'll worry about that when the time comes. Okay. Now, mind you, for like the different color skin tones and the different color beards, like if you wanted those, you would, hold on, let me see if I can get this on here. Because see, this is going to sit like this, and it's going to be his hair and his beard. Let me zoom in. So it's going to sit like that. So like this one makes sense, right? Like the darker colored beard. So, but for this one, like, see, I doubt any of the 3 kings were bleaching their facial hair. This is looking very Dennis Rodman like from the 90s. But anyway, I'm going to color this. I'm not going to cut it out of another color. I'm just going to color it. Okay. Oh, wrong way. Reverse. Maybe we'll stay. Yeah, that's good. Okay. So I'm going to take these back out. I'm going to move these down here so I can keep track of them. Okay. It is so, like, it is so much detail. And I think there's people who are like, that's way too much, way too many little pieces. And I get that. But then there's other people who are like, hey, I really love all of the detail that they put into them. So, like, there isn't really a middle ground. Or maybe there is. Maybe if you're like, I don't want to cut out all those pieces. Like, you could do what I do, which is what Brandon said that he did. Like, he just cut them all out of white and then he colored them with markers. That is for sure my go-to because I prefer to color anyway. And then it cuts everything out because there's so many little pieces though, and this was my first time working with it. And I know that the most popular way to use them is not coloring. I wanted to use the different colors so that I knew what all of the pieces parts were going to be. Okay, so now we're going to move on to Mary, the baby Jesus, and Joseph. I don't think I need this one. I think I recut that one. All right. That's Mary. That's Joseph. I could have swore I cut that out of a different colored cardstock. Did I not? Okay, well, we're in it now. There's two of these. This is the one that I want, I think. No. Yes? I don't know. We'll see in a minute when I lay them all out here. Because I'm going to tell you right now, Joseph was the tricky one. Joseph was the one that was like, wait a minute, why isn't any of this doing its thing? And I will be honest, the Lovely Layers guy was almost no help when it came to what that was for. Okay, so let's look at Mary first. I'm missing one of her pieces. There it is. Okay. So with Mary's got a couple of different layers here. And so she has a base layer. That's this one here. Then she has her second base layer, which is the majority of what you're going to see. And then it also cuts out this top portion of her head covering. So there's going to be that and that. So that's already two different colors. Then this one cuts out her next layer, this one here, and this under layer. So these sit kind of on top of each other. Like this. So this one's on this one, this underneath one is on this. So then that's next. Then this piece right here cuts out her face. That's right here. The face of the baby Jesus here. Then it also cuts out a little piece that's behind her, like the other part of her sleeve. And what is the other one? Hold on, I gotta look. Her hand, I think. Yeah, I think one piece is her hand, and the other is her sleeve. Okay. So that's that part right there. I did not cut them out of other colors. I apologize. Now, did I just lose that? Did I just go fling it somewhere after all of the work I did to keep these all in the right place? I think I did. Oh, okay. Well, it is what it is. Okay. So, and then this is the little teeny tiny piece of her sleeve. That piece right there. I wish I knew where that went. That is unfortunate. Okay. So now for the baby Jesus, there is this die here, which cuts out the main piece, like the main bundle. This is the bundle for the head. There is a little, well, Who knows where that went? There's another little triangle piece that you could add in for the layer. And then there is the face. So again, bare minimum, we're doing 2 different colors. So, and then that is the bundle for the baby Jesus. For Joseph, Joseph is the one that got me. For real. This is the one I could not understand what this die was. I just didn't get it. And I think this is the one that's probably throwing most people. So this, come down, come down, come down. Okay. So this is the base for Joseph. And then you have the staff right there. Then this is this piece right here and this piece right here. So you have like the 2 pieces of the head covering. And this is the larger, oh Lord, this is the larger one and the stripe. I'm going to scoot these over so that they stay together. Don't mind this because I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing with that yet. I'm not sure how they all layer together. So the one that gets you is this one right here. Okay. Because this little die, let me zoom in here. This little die looks like a spinning top with 2 pieces. It, under no circumstances, looks like a face with 2 pieces of a beard. But that's what it is. I think it's the way that it was drawn with this little piece back here, like instead of it being smooth. But I assure you, this right here is this guy's face and his beard. That's what it is. It's this. That is the one that threw me. I mean, so much to the point where I literally cut it because I cut it out of gold because I thought it was a gift. It's not a gift. It's his face. And I had to go back and look it up. So, oh, I'm going the wrong way. So that is all of the pieces, parts, and the way that they will go together. So now we're going to actually put them together and try to make a card out of this. That was the very last piece I cut, so that's all I had left for Joseph's face. Excuse me, sir. Brandon, do you mean to tell me that you cut them and then put them together before you cut the rest of the pieces? What? I don't even understand how that works. You don't cut all the pieces and then put them together? What is happening? That doesn't even, that does not, what? My flabbers are gasted. I don't understand how you even do that. I do not get it. All right. So since these are all laid out, we're going to start with these because I've already got them out. And so here is the part that is a little bit challenging because I normally would look at the layering guide, but I have to be looking at your guys' chat. So I can't really look at the layering guide. So sometimes I might have to go back and forth in between. So if you ask a question and I miss it, please just be like, Kelly, answer my question. I don't understand. Maybe that's where I'm going wrong, because that's why I don't like die cutting. Maybe it's because I do all the die cutting first. Maybe that's why I don't like it. I never even considered that there would be another way to do that. I started with 3 wise men. I need to cut one together to see how it goes. And then I go with all white. I normally go all white too, because, well, you guys know how I feel about coloring. But, all right. I think I should zoom in for this. I think zooming in for the putting together of the things will be helpful, since we don't have all the pieces parts. Also, lining them up correctly would also be helpful, I think. Okay. All right. Let me zoom us in. Okay. Alrighty. Mary was my challenge. Okay. You were challenged by Mary, but you knew what to do with Joseph? I'm impressed. I am impressed because I did not. Okay. So this is Mary's face. And we should be able to, I got to come at it from the other side, just snug this up right in here. I do think it is a little confusing. You do have to stop and think about because like these faces, you would hear them behind. These faces, they sit on top of the base. So like that is a little bit different. All right. So I am actually going to, I'm going to change the color of this just a little bit because they're going to sit right on top of each other. Is this too? Yep, that's too much. It's too much. What if I go with this B? Will this maybe be a little, make it a little more blue, a little less teal? Okay. Because one thing we know about me is after I'm done die cutting, I am not going back again under any circumstances. All right, so there's that. And then this. I think this sits up top here. Is that how that goes? I think so. Okay. Now, Jesus. I really wish, see, I said I would not go back to die cutting under any circumstances, but I think I need her hand. Man. I'll just see if I can fake it. It bothers me to have to do that, but we're on a time crunch today, people. So we're going to do the face of baby Jesus. And then, yeah, this is definitely one where we need like a gem picker and our tweezers. For sure, for sure. Okay. And then the baby Jesus goes right here. Snuggled up. Okay. There we go. And there's supposed to be a hand there. What do I have over here? Is this the hand? Is this? Oh, maybe that is it. Oh, it is it today. Today, that's it. Kathy, I would love to take credit for the colors, but these are actually the colors that are on the, okay, so that is Mary. These are the colors that are on the layering guide. So now let's do Joseph. So this one I have to lay out because remember I have these pieces over here and I don't know what I'm doing. All right, so this is this one. And that layers up there. And then comes this one. And then this one. And I think that is how I want it. And then this piece comes in here as like a third stripey. Excuse me. And then the staff is here. Okay, so already I know that I don't like the color that I cut this out of. And that's okay. Sometimes that happens. But that's why I try to stick to lighter colors or white, because then I can go in and change them. And I feel like this is going to be a better fit. The darker brown, I think, will stand out more. Doop, doop. Okay. Oh, I missed this part right there. I can see it. All right. And I feel like that's going to be a better fit to stand out there. Yep, I do like that better. Okay. So now, let me just look at the... Oh, I see. Okay, so it has... That's what I started to do. It must be. It has this piece cut out of blue, and then it has this piece cut out of ivory, like hers. Man, I don't want to do all that. But here we are. And I want them to match. I have real problems. But now, do I... Yeah, I was going to say, now do I know where my ivory is? It is. I'm breaking my own rule. And I'm going back and die cutting it. Actually, Lori, I think you're right. I think it was walnut. Yep, it was. Okay, let's do this. Even though I don't want to, I'm gonna do it. All right. Okay, because I want them to match. I have a real problem with that. You guys already know. You know my faults. Okay. All right, now let's put together Joseph. So we don't need this piece. And we don't need that piece either. All right. We're going to do this one. I want to make sure I keep it on the screen here. Hi, Linda. Okay. I'm glad you could make a live. I know, I think last time I did my live, you said it was during your nap time. Not that I fault you. I'm here for a good nap. All right, so then we have this piece here. And this goes up like this. And then this goes like this. Nope, I scooched him. Thank God for liquid glue, because I scooched him too far down. Come back up. All right, there. Now, can line them up at the bottom. There we go. Okay, so there's that. And then this piece. Did we figure out what the ladder die was? Okay, and that, nope, back it up here. Okay, like that, and then the ivory. You guys, I really had to go digging for colored cardstock. Just so you know. I really, really had to go digging for it. All right, so I think this is, I think I'm supposed to put my face on before I do this one. I'm just going to peel it up. Remember, I'm going in blind because I don't have my layering guide, which I would normally have. All right, now this is his beard, his hair and his beard. And this I am going to have to color. So why don't we go just with that same walnut color? I think that makes the most sense, don't you? Okay. Now I do have to bring up the layering guide to see how these go. Okay. So this goes on the bottom. And this goes on the top. Oh, it's his ear. Oh, I get it now. It's his ear. That little piece where I was like, why is that even there? Like, why isn't that part smoothed out? It's not smoothed out because it's his ear. Once you put his beard and his hair on, it's very clearly an ear. That makes a lot more sense. There we go. Yep. It's an ear. That's why. Oh, hi, Dawn. It's your first time seeing a live. This one is a little bit different than our normal lives because normally we just go for as long as we need to. Today, we have a firm stopping point because I have to get my teeth cleaned. Okay, so here is Joseph and Mary and the baby Jesus. So that's those done and completed. I'm going to put these dies away so that way I don't lose them because there are a lot of working parts in this one. Okay, and then I'm going to move these little guys over here. Let's work on the little animals. These are trash. I don't need those. Okay, and the manger. All right, so hello, Simone. I'm so glad that you could pop in. Okay, so here we have 2 layers of donkey. And the little, if you follow the little legs, this is easier, I think, with my hand. You can see where they line up with the ear, and then the legs. So we have 2 layers right there. And then what did I do with the 2 teeny tiny little parts? I pulled them out and laid them out. And then now have we lost them? Nope, there they are. They're right by my sheep's butt. My lamb's butt? Lamb's tush? Caitlin says butt is a potty word. I think that's what we've taught her. Okay. So I'm going to color this in, this little bridle bit part of it with a dark gray. And then I'm going to see, I think this might be easier with my gem picker because it's so tiny, but we'll see if we can get it with the tweezers. Okay, back to the layering guide. Oh, it's his eye. See, like, you guys shouldn't listen to me talk because I clearly don't know what I'm talking about. This little dot right here is his eyeball. Okay. So we're going to do the bit. And that fits right over here. Oh my gosh, what is happening? Pardon me, sir. Am I putting this in the wrong place? No, it just doesn't go all the way across. Okay. Goes here. And then the eyeball. The dies that make eyeballs, I just tend to use a black pen. I have my limits. Melissa, I don't disagree. Sometimes I will also use like the small pearls that Honeybee has. I will use those as well. But since we're trying to show people how to use this set, I'm going to try my best to stick to. And then I like, to me, like this darker part, I didn't cut it out of 2 different colors because I'm lazy. But like if we just come in here and do this part in the back here, just a slightly darker gray, like that's going to be a win for us, I think. I know that is my own issues with wanting it to be more dimensional, but also like work smarter, not harder. You know what I'm saying? Give them a little dimension without having to do a whole lot of work. Okay, so that is our donkey. Let's do our sheep. Yeah, if I was doing it on my own and not specifically because somebody asked in the group for the like these to be put together, I would definitely have just used a marker. All right, and then this little tuft goes right on the top of his head. Come down, come down. There you go. Okay. Very, very cute. And even here, like we could go in. This is just a warm, and we could just do some little dots over the embossed areas, and that would help give him a little bit of dimension as well. Just like that. Okay. So those are the animals. Let's do this part now. Okay. Come over here. So we have our base for the manger. And then this is the detail piece. Sometimes I find it easier to line them up if I just hold it in my hands. There we go. Okay. So that's the base. And then these two have the embossed wood on them. But since I didn't cut them out of 2 different colors, I am going to add a little bit of color to this one. I'm not worried about the darker background because it's a lighter color. So the darkness that you're seeing is just the like the alcohol ink moisture. It's not going to stay that way. So we don't have to worry about it. I almost put glue on the front. I almost did. All right. So now these will go here. And over here. All right. So that's that. And then this will, here's the little hay that sits on top of there. And then, you know, obviously we'll have all the little characters and stuff that will be around there. Okay. So that's that. Now, Can't trust cats? What are we talking about? My cat swiped my mat with tiny peas. Oh, no. Susan, no. No, 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 no. I cannot. I would lose my mind. All right. So let's put this together. You can see it. I have a little dusting on there. Okay. That I need to get off. All right. So my understand, we have to color this beard first, guys. Well, you know what? We need to, let's do this. And then I think we'll color this black. Because then we can use it for the darker skin tone. If I can remember what I just did with mine. We know I just used it for the eyeball, right? Yep, okay. All right, so we're going to color this black. And then we're going to use it for the darkest skin tone back here. And then this one will go here. All right, and now we're all set there. Okay, so I'm pretty sure the hair and the beard and the hand let me double check. Okay. Glue head and hand behind base. Yes. Okay. Okay. So we put on the beard with the hair. Okay. And then this, I don't really know where all the glue goes. So since it's my first time, I'm going to put the glue back here. So that way I'm not getting glue on the face that I don't need. All right. So now I'm going to lay my little face down and I am going to, I think it's supposed to be a little bit more back this way, like this. Does that look right? Yeah, I think that does look right. Okay, and then the hand, obviously goes here. I need to have enough hand to put a gift on it. Okay, now we can start. I think probably once you do one, it's fine. All right, so here we're going to start with this. I think it's the learning, because I am obviously just learning. So we have this part that goes down. And then the head portion. Oh, didn't we say that I needed to double check to see? This is the biggest one. Sorry, I'm over here. Yeah, this is the biggest one, but I think this is the smallest one. So I think I actually have the middle one. Yeah. Okay. So this should be smaller. There we go. All right. So then it says this next. Okay. And then it says the stripe and the crown. And I did not cut this out of gold. But again, here I am with my cheaty tricks. That's going to be close enough for government work. Clearly, I haven't used this marker in a while. But that's all right. We're going to get the job done. Okay. Oh, no, because his is this color. What am I even doing, Kelly? I mean, I guess you could do it either way. You could do the gold or you could do the teal. I'm going to do the teal because that's why I cut it that way in the first place, right? All right, so then we have the teal and okay. Is that how it's supposed to sit? Okay, is Brandon still in here? Brandon, is this how this is supposed to sit? Do I butt it up against? I assume I butt it up against the arm and not up against the bottom of the gown. Will there be a premiere next week? Oh, because of Thanksgiving. Yes, I do believe there will still be one. Okay, so we don't need this part because we've used this. Oh, no, Brandon left for work. Okay, all right. And then we have, oh, I didn't do the crown. I got to do the crown. Okay. Denise, I didn't even see you pop in, girl. All right, so then we put the crown on. And the gift. How long does it take you from the coming up with the idea for a die set to designing it to getting it made? So I do, Kelly, you need to stop. It's time for you to leave. You know what, Denise? You are 100% right. So let's get this little guy together. And then for Thanksgiving, we are doing a, we're going to, my sisters and I are going to do Thanksgiving at my dad's house. And then Eric's family, we are actually going to celebrate on a Saturday because that is the Ohio State game and they always get together to watch it. So that is what we chose to do to celebrate with them. Can you do another live to finish? So what I will probably do is, because I always, if you guys follow my channel, I always edit these down to be regular shows, like regular length videos. I will probably finish it up in there, and then I will post it, and I'll post a link to it in the group. So okay, so we managed to get most of them put together. So let's recap very quickly, and then I will put these together, and I will definitely make sure that is included in the other video. Okay, so we have our manger with our hay. We have Mary, Joseph. What do we want to? They both face the same way, so I don't know. A donkey and a sheep, and then one king. That's what we got so far. And then we'll put these together. So let's pick a winner. So that way we have one. Melissa, I will be happy to answer your question about design in another live. Okay. Let me just go back here and randomly pick a winner. And Lisa, GK, you are our winner. Did you win last week? I guess it doesn't matter, but because if you show up, you have a more chances to win. So yeah, okay. Congrats, Lisa. You know the deal. Make sure you send an email over to Honeybee customer care at honeybeestamps.com and they will get you your gift card and then you'll be able to use it to do the shoppings. So, all right, here I am back again. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I will finish putting these together. And like I said, I have a background planned and stuff. So even if you watch the live, the video will probably be worth it just for a little bit more. And now I'm off to get my teeth cleaned. All right. I will see you guys later. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. I know that it is a precious commodity and I appreciate it. All right. I will see you guys Monday for the premiere. Okay. Bye.